Good evening. Good evening to you all. I hope that everyone is doing well this evening. I hope that everyone is having a good day. I hope that things are going in your favor if you so desire it. Just want to make sure I'm getting the bot up because I forgot to do the bot prior to the stream. And once that is good to go, we shall get on with the show. While I move some things around on my screen back here. Everything else looks as good as it's gonna get. I don't know if I posted the other stuff on the other thing. I may have forgotten to do so. I think I did. Oh, okay. I did not. All right. Feel like I need to get something to drink. Not like that kind of drink. Do, 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 do. Yes, I'm still eating microwave burritos. I will not be judged. Just one more, make sure. Oh, I did not. All right. Do that. Do that. Do that. Yeah. I probably should have done that beforehand, right? Give me a bottle of water. Smart start. I got shit to talk about. We're going to talk about Katt Williams. So if you haven't seen the Katt Williams, if you haven't seen the Katt Williams episode of the Shay Shay podcast, that's actually the first. I don't even. I'm still like 10 minutes, 15 minutes done out of it, but that's probably the most I've ever watched of any. It might be the only one of Shannon Sharp's podcast I've ever watched. So I got some thoughts on that. I'm gonna get into it. Give me just a minute. I think that's about as good as it's gonna get. I think I put it on the deal. Anyway, let's get this party started. Oh no, that get this party started correctly. So again, welcome to the den. I am your host, right? I'm your host, Red Honcho. I'm not a knight. The queen is dead, so I don't think I ever will be. But tonight we're going to talk about some things in the den that have been going on. Katt Williams broke the internet, and I think the truth is a beautiful thing, right? It's a beautiful thing. They say the truth can set you free. They say that's pretty much all they say about the truth. But other than that, so he came out and he said some things about comedians who we are all, I would say most of us are pretty familiar with, depending on, your age group. But at some point in time, you've heard of some of these names, names like Steve Harvey and Cedric the Entertainer. I believe there were shots taken at Michael Blackson, Rickey Smiley, and, various other names were included in the massacre that Katt Williams decided to issue out on what some people would consider legendary black comedians, right? So looking at this onslaught, looking at this, what some people call a tirade, some people call it hating, some people say, hey, he's just dropping the truth, right? And I do feel like I lean more towards the fact that he was dropping the truth because I don't think he said anything that was disputable, right? You saw some of these same guys today crawfishing or changing their story, their narrative as to things they may have said in the past, some of them on quote unquote Club Shay Shay's podcast, right? So, no matter what side you're on, no matter, how you feel about it, no matter what you may think about it, it's a very interesting occurrence that it took place and that people responded to it the way that they did, right? The way that people love, I guess you could say, some of us included, the way that people love drama, right? And I think there's different kinds of drama. I think there's drama when, you discover something, kind of like, the documents that are floating about and all the, what should be, this shouldn't even be news, this stuff that should have been released, who knows when, a long time ago, right? But, this information, the truth, the quote unquote exposing or whatever you want it to be labeled as, right? Whatever you want it to be labeled as is happening. I do believe that 2024 is going to be the year, right? It'll be the year that a lot of things get put to the forefront. A lot of things that we've been talking about, especially around here for a long time, or various things, right? I don't value celebrities. But we use celebrities, we use these things for conversation, to base stuff on things. So before we deep dive into it, before we get all the way into it, right? No, that's not that. Before we get all the way into it, see who we have joining us in this conversation. And then we're going to dive into this conversation. We're going to talk about a lot of things. Make sure you hit that like button. Shout out to Broderick Brooks, Master Race. What's the motherfucking deal? The lovely Miss Sarah Lou. How are you? 1-1-1-1. 713 Texas Skills. What's the motherfucking deal? Illusion. What's the motherfucking deal? DeMarkey. Who is it? DeMarkey. DeMarkey's here. Still eating number 10s from Jack in the Box. Shameful person you are. Let's see. Yeah, Cat is much more intelligent. People want to give him credit for it, right? He said Luda just responded by doing a diss. That sounds about right. I'm gonna do a diss song on a Katt Williams. Who let the cat out the kennel? I don't really feel him. That would sound like some shit Luda would say. um, let's see. J Mail, what's the motherfucking deal? Let me see. Keeping it real time, Riley. What's the mother? How are you this evening? Just keeping it real time, Riley. My apologies. Yeah, it's very interesting, right? I was very we're at a training out here state. Oh wow. Yeah, he said some stuff, right? He said some crazy stuff, right? So we're going to talk about a couple of things. We're going to look at it from our perspective. And again, like I said, I dropped a bunch of stuff in the Discord. I may share some of that on the screen, but I mean, the proof that jokes were stolen, like said, the two jokes that said was best known for, turns out they were both stolen. Or we had to drink that from outside. What's the motherfucking deal? That was, I ain't heard it, but I feel like I've listened to enough Honeymoon, aka is that King Cushington? Shout out to the Cushington. Um, definitely, definitely, Luda is a wild one. I got a part of me. I was drinking some water. I got jumped a little bit. Um, but yeah, It's a situation. Let me make sure the love is belting outside. Make sure I ain't miss you. So, lease, make sure I ain't miss you. And if I did miss you, I promise I ain't dish you. It's all good, baby. Um, it's not in the description. Okay, my bad. Let me leave. This is it. Check it before I. But yeah. So like I say, just it was a wild situation because again, I've never watched Club Shay Shay. I've never really. I'm not. I have my reasons. I'm not the biggest Shannon Sharp fan. Right. It's not nothing to do with necessarily skip it. It's just certain positions he's taken on certain things I've disagreed with. I probably honestly don't even remember all the positions that he's taken. That doesn't even sound right at all. On things that I disagree with. But there was some stuff I remember. One, it was a situation with Ray Lewis, I want to say. And there was just it's just some things you'll get on people on, but it's like you got to realize you're contributing to the same stereotypes when you would do like the Miles and Yak shit, right? And again, I'm not hating on that. It is what it is. So I was never really the biggest fan of Shannon Sharp, right? And so watching it, I think J Mel shot it to me first. Like, you got to check this shit out, right? And I kind of saw a little glimpse, and I started seeing little clips here. I'm like, it's 2 hours and 2 hours or something, of a show I ain't never watched. I know it might be hard for me to get into it, But hey, it's Katt Williams. It might be a stand-up almost. He's funny to watch it. And I mean, immediately from the get-go, as soon as you cut it on, Katt just starts going off, right? Katt just starts going off. Brandon Adams said, "What's the motherfucking deal? Big money, Texas in the building. Lockbird, what's the motherfucking deal?" Yeah, I mean, it was just because he never really got crazy, never got out of line. And it just, for me to feel like he was making that shit up, it flowed too smooth. It was too natural. It was almost like just recanting shit that happened. It was just recanting what took place, right? And then the things that were said, they caught your attention. Because when people are put in an exalted position, people are put in an elevated position, you wonder why, how they got there, what did they do? And sometimes things happen. We have our own lives. We're too busy to see certain things. We recall, oh yeah, I remember seeing him here or there, seeing him there, he must have, whatever. Especially in comedy. Because comedy they just have different roots. Like there's a different community within the comedy realm because there's guys who know guys that, maybe unknowns to us are the funniest people they've ever met. Comedy is just a weird group of characters because most comedians just have off the wall different backgrounds, right? 335. Right, exactly. Right, exactly. Like, how is he petty and bitter if he's eating? He seems to be eating well. Like, again, Netflix is playing the shit out of comedians. I don't think he's broke. He's been talking about how, he's put his own shit on. He's been saying that for years. We're bringing a lot of comedians with him. I haven't seen any of the comedians who are knocking him say, or any of the comedians that he's been with knocking him, Yeah, and that's the thing. That's the thing. He showed love to Dave Chappelle. He showed love to Bernie Mac. He showed love to all the guys that we would say kept it real, right? But he said some things, and some of us who are older will remember this. Like one of the things that stood the fuck out to me, and I need to watch it because he did a diss. So after the stream, like I said, there's a whole thread with the podcast, and then there's a thread that has the jokes that Cedric stole. Cedric stole a bunch of stuff. Let's break it down. So the Bominicious, right? Bominicious joke was a joke a lot of people recall from Cedric. I'm an older person, getting to be 40 this year. Looking forward to that. It's going to be the finest 40 I can be. But that Bominicious joke was stolen from a show I used to like way back in the day, right? Way back in the day. And he was like, Hunter, you actually like this? I was young. I used to watch this weird show. I don't even remember what it was about too much. But I used to like, who was it? Was it Delta Burke? I think, whatever. And the show was called Designing Women, right? This was not a popular black show. They had a black guy on it. I don't know if if he played a more structurally fractured wristed black guy, but I know he's a black guy that, worked with a bunch of white women. It's almost like Girlfriends with white women, right? Shout out to Illusion. I appreciate the love. So let me pull up the other thing. That's the thing I gotta put up the other screen so I can see it. Did I set the alert? I don't think I still don't think I fucking set it on it. I think I did all that shit on the fucking sauce. I didn't set the damn finish setting up the damn shit. But yeah. So the bum initiative, and here's the thing too, like if people love you, they'll forgive you for the most blatant shit, right? The most blatant shit. And so the bomb initiative joke, he talks about it being his homeboy, or he meeting one of his homeboys at a friend's house, and his name was Bominicious, and so he's calling this out, Anyway, and then the joke is basically that he's saying you can call me by my initials, right? So the premise of the joke from Designing Women was that back in Mississippi, some people he knew had a guy who would come do work for him every now and then one day the woman couldn't pay him cash, right? And so since she couldn't pay him cash, she wanted to write him a check. And she was asking him, how do you spell Bominicious? He's like, well, I meant to tell you about that. When I said that, when I met you, I said, you can call me this or you can call me by my initials. And there are people who are reaching, trying to say, oh, it's not the same joke. It's not the same joke because his joke was at his homeboy's house. And this joke was somebody. There are people who are like, I want to feel like they're joking. I want to say that they're just being dense when they're like people play stupid for the internet. But I don't think people are playing stupid for the internet anymore. I think that we've seen the reading comprehension levels around this country. We've seen, you've dealt with cashiers trying to use cash and get your change back. Like the comprehension, the education level in this country is sunken. And along with that comprehension comes comprehension of comedy, right? Because there's levels to comedy. There's the, slapstick, straightforward, you kind of know what you get. And then there's that kind of layer, because there's subtle comedy. And it's just, it's a situation. Says Katt definitely wanted to get this shit off and expose him, but he said it very early in the interview. This was about good versus evil. Shout out to my fellow light workers. Exactly. And that's the thing too, right? And what did he say? He said, truth doesn't need any motivation. Truth doesn't need Melanin Monroe. Good to see you. That is a throwback. Some of y'all may remember. Some of y'all may not. Shout out to Melanin. Good to see you. Love seeing old den folks meet again. But yeah, right? And so, TD, what's the motherfucking deal? And so that's the thing that I'm saying. Like, what he said, what he did, nobody can dispute. Now, Michael Blackson is out there saying, see, Katt just made himself relevant because he knew we're the top 10 comedians. Michael Blackson is playing everybody, right? Michael Blackson knows he's not a top 10 comedian. I hope Michael Blackson knows he's not a top 10 comedian. I hope that he's trolling, knowing that he'll get more attention by calling himself a top 10 comedian and lumping himself together. Then here we go. Delta Echo Golf, what's the motherfucking deal? Yeah. Cedric talking about he ain't never heard the joke. Cedric joke, like, it's certain shit, bro, like, that, yeah, you twist it, you put a twist on it. But then it's certain shit that's just stealing. It's almost like, oh, buddy, who was it? Carlos Mencia. Remember when he was stealing people's jokes? So D Love, said your credit score is dipping. What do I suggest you do? Get you a white woman. Marry you a white woman as soon as possible. So my thing is this, right? I have no fault in anything he said. I don't think it was hating. He talked about the show where him and Steve Harvey had about. Let's approach this, right? Because y'all say I bash on black women. Y'all say I be hating on black women. Y'all say that I give them a hard time. I'm talking about how much I don't find Tiffany Haddish funny. And I'm gonna be honest, like the last few years, I've had to take a look at my childhood. Have you seen my childhood? But think about it, right? Because we were tricked. We were tricked. And we got to have a discussion about something. I'm going to ask a question that has nothing to do with any of this in just a minute. We need to talk about it. We had a very intense discussion in the den earlier, and I need to know people's thoughts on this. But I look at my childhood. Like, I used to think Will Smith was funny in The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Will Smith has never been funny. He's not funny. I thought Steve Harvey was funny. But what Steve Harvey stand-up was really funny. Like, where did they get, like you said, like, where did you get to call yourself kings of comedy? Right? Like, we just took it without thinking about it. Right? We just, and it was humorous. It was funny. Now we're knowing that Cedric is a, joke borrower and not returner. Like lawnmowers with your like neighbors with your lawnmower. Right? Like, but I'm just saying, like, as a comedian, and let me rephrase that. Comedic acting versus stand-up. Right? Yeah, and there's a difference. There's a difference between being a comedic actor that somebody else wrote and you went and played a role versus you writing jokes. And I respect comedy because I love stand-up. Like, it'll be hard to get me to watch a movie. Like, I could be a highly recommended. It's the greatest movie of all time. How should I watch it? I'll get on Netflix and I'll see, okay, the movie's on Netflix, let me watch it. And I see some new stand-up from somebody I've never seen before. I'd rather watch that. And I get straight about, like, I love comedy, right? Because I feel like it's the last safe haven of free speech, even though it's kind of getting attacked now too, right? Right? Appreciate the love. Shout out to Jay Mel. Yeah, pull up the screen here. I got to get that set up. I'm going to do that tomorrow. Sleep in late. Right? Oh, shit. Hold on, give me a second. Let me give me. I know it's like a alerts on here. Give me 1 second. But J Bell says Bell watched the Katt Williamson episode. It might have been the Cat Stacks episode. How many of you guys are fans of Taraji B. Jordan? No, I'm just starting to give Miss Bell a hard time. We love Miss Bell. But to get back to comedy, we were having a discussion in the den, right? This is random thought. I want to know your thoughts. Everybody in the chat. What are your thoughts about Denzel in Training Day? And where does Training Day fall in Denzel's filmography, in your opinion? So drop that in the chat. I want to know y'all's thoughts on that. I really do. But getting back to it, like I said, so what Katt did is genius because comedy takes intelligence, right? Like, dumb comics don't last. Comedy is about observation. It's about, I wouldn't necessarily say for life, but it's about adjusting observations, right? So seeing something in a different way. I enjoy laughing. I don't think laughing at anything is ever bad, right? I don't think laughing at someone falling is bad. I don't think laughing at someone who is obese flipping over a motorcycle, I don't think it's bad, right? I'm not laughing at them being hurt. Nobody's laughing at them being hurt. That's not the case. You're laughing because something awkward took place. You're expected, if you're walking upright and you're expected to make it from here to there, point A to point B, to your destination without falling over. The fact that you fell over, it's awkward and it makes it humorous, right? It's not necessarily you, it's the action. Or, Katt Williams. Or it's the situation where, like I say, you're expected, if you're on a bike, if you're on a device, something, you're expected to be upright, right? And you fall over, roll over, whatever. Um, the joke is just presenting an observation verbally and presenting it to you in a different way that you may not have expected, right? Um, Now, sometimes, of course, they're not always true. We get it. I dig it. You know what I mean? But it's about it's about presenting observations. That's all jokes are in a humorous way. But what Cat did was gave us both, right? He gave us jokes in a humorous way, but he gave us truth as well. Um, he said a lot of stuff, said a lot of things about a lot of people. I've told you guys I've never really been a fan of Kevin Hart. That's not new to this because of this situation. It just I'm not a big fan of his humor, right? That's a pardon me. I'm not saying that he hasn't put in the work. He hasn't done a lot of stuff. He hadn't, made a lot of people laugh. Not saying that at all. I'm sure there are plenty of Kevin Hart fans. I'm not knocking anybody who is. Just not my personal cup of tea, right? He mentioned Chris Tucker, Epstein Island, Chris Tucker, right? And I've had my thoughts on the whole Chris Tucker Friday situation for a long time. It is what it is, neither here nor there. He mentioned Rickey Smiley, right? And Rickey Smiley is not funny to me. Little Daryl is not funny to me. I don't know what else he does, but it's not funny to me. I know the prank joke, the prank calls were mentioned, and I know the Rickey Smiley show, things like that. But Cat said some things, and you got to think about entertainment, and you got to think about how this shit works. Like, and correct me if I'm wrong. I know Sid had shows, and you can look at them however you want to look at them. I know Sid has had shows. Usually, Sid has always been like a sidekick, though. Whether in the show, whether in the couple of movies he was the sidekick to Martin, basically, and Roscoe Jenkins. He wasn't a man, right? Time traveling Texan, what's the motherfucking deal? Yeah, like Kevin Hart, just I don't like his humor. Like he plays the little man stuff too much for me, right? And I get it, but it's like I just can't do it. Yeah, yeah, and that's the thing about it, right? Here's the thing, though. What I loved about it is because everybody was up in arms about it. And again, like receipts were shown. The shit was shown. They put the side by side. That's the beauty of the internet. A lot of these older guys, I guess they don't realize how the internet truly works. But the receipts are coming. That's why Rickey Smiley tried to get on there and try to correct what he said. Well, what I said, could you imagine? Let's think about these roles reversed, right? And I'm not going to act like Katt Williams was a big, huge star before the Friday, right? I forgot that he was Cat in the Hat on BET until I saw that joke and I saw that and I remember, I was like, wow, I actually didn't see that, right? So, like, damn, that's why. Um, then you see Cedric do the joke, and it's like the body motion. It may be we can swing a spaceship versus an old car. It's the same joke. Like if you look at it, like I say, just from the delivery of it, the music on every little element of the joke was taken. And the thing about like with comedy is it's not like music. It's not like acting. Stand-up comedy is a pure art form, right? I don't know. One day, maybe I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna try that one day. I think I've said that before. To then just go to a fucking thing and just do a set. and bomb and see how it goes, right? Because you got to be fearless to me to be a comic. Because like you're gonna get an immediate feedback, right? Immediate, and it's the only art form where you have to entertain your audience like immediately like that. Like if somebody's coming to a concert for music, they already know the songs they like. They don't want to hear your new shit. If someone's coming to a comedy, a stand-up event, they only want new shit. And like this is the whole shit about it. It's like motherfuckers will leak your comedy, your stand-up, and then when they come to the show, we heard the shit already. Like a comedian takes time to hone a joke, right? And this is not just what Katt was talking about, but you have to try it out on people. Like the hardest thing in the world to do is make groups of people laugh, right? Whether it be a group of, it could be an all similar race group. You have to be able to make these people see humor in the same way that you do. To present it, you have to frame things in a certain way that they have to be able to embrace it, step into that frame with you, and share that sense of humor. It's a difficult thing to do. Some of you have a group of 4 or 5 friends. When you hang out and meet together, you tell a joke, 2 of them might not fucking get it, right? Or it's not funny, or what? Like, so to go into a place in an arena, live feedback, and make tens of thousands of people even chuckle, right? To sniggle a little bit. That is the ultimate art form, right? And to do it in a way that's masterful, not just goofy, to pinpoint, to know the timing. I mean, it's an art. And again, it's the ultimate way of knowing people. That's why I say the modern comedian is an observer. They are, you could say they're a philosopher in a way. I guess you could say they're a philosophizer in a way, right? They look at life through their lens. They generally they frame that lens for you. They say, this is why I think this way. Then they put the joke, and you start to see it through there, and then it makes sense, right? That's what I would say like Seinfeld was good at, right? But there are, it's a hard thing to do. And so to steal something like that, because this is not something you go craft overnight. You talk about these comedians who say they do sets every night. They go to city. You got to think about, like, we can't get city to city to eat the same fucking food and agree on. Like, your fucking Philly cheesesteak is fucking trash. We make New York, we make the fucking best fucking pizzas. Hey, you get a fucking pizzeria. We got the shit in downtown Texas. We got the best barbecue. Son of a bitch. And that's not no fucking lie. That's not even a stereotype. But anyway, but to get people to have the same sense of humor, whether it be nationally, regionally, some of these people go overseas and shit, to be able to do that, it's a masterful skill, right? And it takes practice. Like, you have to hone it. Sometimes you can tell that same joke to this crowd and they're gonna fucking love it. You tell it to this crowd, and they're like, what the fuck? They might want to run you out of time for it, right? And you have to time it. You have to, figure out what makes the joke too long, what makes it too. It's a skill. I can take a song, shake that ass, bitch, hands on your knees, hands on your. If people don't like it, you don't even fucking know because they just never hear it. But there's going to always be a group of people that do like it, and that's always going to gravitate towards it. So like music is way different, right? It can be trash. It can be flawed. A lot of it cannot even make sense. As long as it rhymes, has a good beat, you get an excuse for shit. You can't do that with comedy. You cannot do it with comedy. And it's the last real art. Right? You make a movie, Beyond a Funny Nigga, what's the motherfucking deal? Speaking of comedy. Taryn, what's the motherfucking deal? Jared Key bump in the building, what's the motherfucking deal? But beyond all of this, right? Beyond the funny nigga. But beyond comedy being the purest art form, there's nothing else. There is no other art form where you have to take that risk. But I feel like it has to be the greatest reward, right? Even theater acting, yeah, you're performing live, but you've performed it so many times and you have people assisting you, and it's a story that's being told. So, it's not you personally out there. You can have a set that you've practiced. You can have a set that you've been honing this for a year. And because, you've done it here, you've done it there, You've tested on the audience before and a little bag of it comes, you might be the day I do my special. And that shit might not hit. And that shit could be terrible, right? You could Tiffany Haddish it. And I heard Tiffany Haddish has been saying some crazy stuff and is a terrible, terrible person. But anyway, this ain't what we're here for. So you gotta respect Katt Williams being upset about people stealing jokes. That makes me look at, Cedric like, again, I mean, we can break down what he was saying. Right? And I'm like, let me see if I got the clip. I got the clip. Fuck it. We're gonna show the clip. I'll show y'all the clip here. All right? Show y'all the clip here. Fuck it, we do it live, right? Because I don't want to talk about all y'all ain't in the Discord. Y'all need to be in the Discord. Let me put the Discord link in here in a second. Because it really go down into this. Like the den is one thing. It really goes down the fucking Discord. Oh, it goes down in the Discord. And some of these clips again are longer. Like I got the Rickey Smiley shit. I got Bill Clinton being asked some shit about being on Epstein Island shit. Yeah. So I got a couple of clips. I got to see which clip is the right one. This one. I'm gonna show y'all two of them. I don't have the. I didn't save the first part to the oh, I did. How long is this? All right. I'm gonna show y'all two things. I'm gonna show y'all Cedric. We're gonna break down Cedric, and then these are shorter clips. But Cedric the Entertainer, like, really disappointed because like I was tricked into liking Cedric the Entertainer. Right? I was tricked into liking Cedric the Entertainer. You know what I mean? Like, I always thought, like, oh, yeah, I guess he was funny because I liked the show. Like, and Steve Harvey stole Hanging with Mr. Cooper. Y'all might not remember Hanging with Mr. Cooper. Right? Some of y'all are too young for that. Think about the Steve Harvey show if you remember Hanging with it. Really did. Like, it like all the shit Katt was saying yesterday, it blew my fucking mind. Because it just tells you how recycled and how talentless you can be and succeed in Hollywood. I got some clips. I got all these clips here in the deal. So let's talk about the one joke, right? I'm probably gonna tell him to cut right. You should be copyright strike. Fuck it. Do what we do in here. All right. So this is Katt's joke, right? This is Katt Williams' joke.
Had your car radio up so loud that you couldn't hear the damn thing when it cut off. It looked like this. You flossing in a 6-shift convertible.
Now, keep in mind, this is comic view. It's not a special. It's not, you don't have a full set. Right? Now, keep in mind, this joke comes out before Kings of Comedy, a couple of years before Kings of Comedy. Now, look at this joke and tell me if you feel like this is a different joke. Especially on a show like Kings of Comedy, which was widely popular amongst the blacks. We were digging the comic view back in the day.
Before we would drive a space shuttle, we grew up driving long cars. We would drive a space shuttle like it's a 72 deuce and a quarter. Nigga, we get us a cigarette, nigga, we be in a space shuttle, nigga, like it's a 72 deuce. Nigga, we get it.
You really like some music on this as well. That cheap music. Oh man.
What's up, niggas? Y'all know the only time we turn our music down is when we got a parallel part. That's the only time we gotta concentrate, nigga.
Yeah, you ain't lying about the Rickey Smiley. Good saying, nothing. So many hat chicken sandwich, yeah.
Soon we get in, we turn our shit back up. Oh, we a driving space, yeah. We grew up driving long.
Man. I was like, not said, not said. And I can see where you say, oh, it's kind of similar, but maybe not, right? I can see where you say it's kind of similar, but maybe not. Oh, my bad. I'm over here frying. Until I saw this. Mm-hmm. Until I saw what I'm about to show you next. Let's see a Heidi in here. All right. Until I saw this. Okay. And this one I was like, I don't know, Chief. I don't know.
Call me Bombinish, though. Everybody around here call me Bombinish, it's fine. You call me that. Don't even worry about it. Everybody call me Bombinish. Everybody call you Bombinicious. Yeah, everybody in the whole city call me Bombinish. Don't even worry about it. It's fine. You call me that. Don't even worry about it. Bombinicious, this is what everybody call. Yeah, everybody call me that, man. Don't worry about it. I'm like, all right. So all week long, my ass talking about Bombinish, what up, boy? Hey, Bombinish, you gonna come over here and watch the game with us later on? Hey, Bombinish, run to the store, grab some beer, come on back. My cousin said, what you calling him? Bombinish? He said, everybody call him Bombinish. It's all right for me to call him that. Like, no, man, his name's CJ. He's saying you can call me by my initials. That's what he said.
The only way that I can answer that question is by telling the Bombinicious story. It's a true story. See, there was this white family lived in Mississippi, and they had this man who worked for them occasionally named Bombinicious. Now, he did various small jobs for them on and off for about a week. One night, he had just finished bartending a party, and the lady of the house realized that she didn't have any money. So she said to him, Bombinicious, I want to write you a check, but I don't know how to spell Bombinicious. And he said, well, I've been meaning to talk to you about that. See, when I came to work for you, I told you my name, and then I said, but you can call me by my initials.
You tell me. You tell me. You tell me. Yeah, what is going on with that, right? Because there sure was a unnecessary rape scene in Players Club. And if there would have been one in Friday, you really got a good point. You know what I'm saying? And then what's his name? What's his name said that, right? That he wasn't doing the rape scene. So he was talking about it. What's his name did say he read for that scene and he read the script and all that. And he was volunteering to get raped in the bathroom, right? So that's Katt was out there dropping. Katt dropped a lot of heat, right? So he said some other stuff. He made some interesting comments about what he said about Kanye. He's like, and what other time do we, take somebody, we'll call them and say that they have mental illness, and then we basically like laughing at them, or you're taking their words seriously. Well, yeah, pardon me, I got one thing. But all the way through, he definitely stung a lot of shots at a couple of guys, right? Half of the kings of comedy, the so-called kings of comedy, the guys that you did not see really do stand up. What's a memorable Steve Harvey stand up? What did Steve Harvey say in Kings of Comedy that had you? Steve Harvey in Kings of Comedy, his most memorable shit was the Lenny Williams shit. Right? Like, what do you think of Steve? When you think of Steve, you think of him as, what was his name on the show? Mr. Hightower? And he was chasing after Piggy. And he was tripping. Piggy was got that business. But, yeah. Hang with Mr. Cooper. Stole us like that. That's just crazy. Hang with Mr. Cooper. I always wonder what happened to that show. It just turned into the Steve Harvey show. Was a TV show. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, the TV show. You know him more for the TV show than But then that's not a comedian. That's a comedic actor, right? Okay. The dead cat ain't got nothing to do. And that latest Omar Epps is a good one. That bitch on Tubi or Netflix. But yeah, man, like it's a situation where I don't want to say you want to see. You just want to, like, I guess if it's an industry you support, right? You want to understand why things are. You understand, we know Hollywood, Hollyweird, like, let's not get it twisted, right? Because I talk about it all the time, like, I don't give a fuck about celebrities. But sometimes you just wonder, like, how did this particular person end up in this spot? And he kind of got to talking a little bit about Kevin Hart. And he said certain things about never having to not extort his people or make them do certain things. And I believe it, right? The reason why I believe it because I saw a story from Boosie talking about Katt Williams when he first got out. Katt Williams had it at the front of one of his shows, had him in the front row. People think he just got a little spot or something. I think baby put him on or whatever. Every time he was leaving the show, Katt walked by his car and throw something in the car. They probably thought he threw him some weed or something. They handed it to him in the back seat, he unwrapped it. 15 racks. You know what I'm saying? 15 racks. Just gave it to him. Didn't say nothing about it. Kept on pushing. If you're doing that with somebody that you have no, how is Boosie going to benefit? Right? How is Boosie going to necessarily benefit off, or how is Katt Williams going to benefit off Boosie? Right? Yeah, I mean, I think they're all weirdos. Like, I look at shit a little bit differently. Like, when it comes to like athletes, entertainers, like I know people idolize them, they worship them. I look at them as just workers. You work for me. Now you know back these motherfuckers got way more money than, of course, never ever will see. But your job is to entertain me, right? Because if you don't, then you're not relevant. And if people just like this is why people give away their power. We talk about this shit. Like people start looking at these motherfuckers like they are like, bitch, you work with me. You better take this goddamn picture when I see you in public. I bought your fucking out. But if a motherfucker don't rock with you, then what good are you, right? When the fans stop paying attention, that's when these celebrities and these athletes or whoever go crazy. That's when they're losing the contracts. They're not able to get on another team. Ti albums ain't selling, so he starts making weird videos of his wife. I look at them like the same way. Same thing with athletes. Like I don't want to be buddies with athletes. I don't care about being friends with them. Entertain me on the court, on the field, now, immediately. That's your job. Like, what the fuck I want to be your friend with? You just play sport. Like, nigga, all you do is play basketball. Oh, that's too over there. I don't want to be your friend. I watch you too when I got a little time. That type of shit. But fucking, the thing about it, like I said, is just you wonder how people get in certain positions. Before all of this Katt Williams stuff, be honest with yourself, right? I want you to be 100% honest with yourself, right? If he pay him, hell, I look like you gotta look. I can do it 2 for 20, but he got to pay, bro. I ain't got time to just be hanging out. I got shit to do. I got sauce to make. But here's my thing, though. My thing is this: is think about it. And be honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself. What's the first thing, the first time that you can remember, not having to be recalled or be reminded, the first thing you remember seeing Kevin Hart in that made it memorable to you? That's what I'm saying. I don't remember seeing that nigga on Comedy View. Might have been. I just don't remember. Definitely soul playing for me. I've seen a lot of folks say paper soul. I've never seen it. It's funny because somebody was telling me about this before this whole controversy even happened. Somebody was telling me about Paper Soldier. I don't even think they mentioned that Kevin Hart was in Paper Soldier. I can't remember which stand-ups of his I watched. I know after Soul Plane, I saw some little stand-ups he did. I didn't find them very amusing. He was all talking about getting beat up by his girlfriend with the PlayStation and calling the cops on him. I guess. Some stupid motherfucker too much, bro. I gotta get back. I gotta get back on my house too much. It's crazy. I feel like I ain't quarantined for the fucking quarantine, bro. Like I'm quarantined right now. I'm in the house too fucking much. But I'm so playing next to the house. Soul Plane. I see what you did there. I see what you did there. Soul Plane. And I agree. Soul Plane was one of the worst black stereotypical movies I've ever seen in my life. Let's just be honest. We talking about like, yeah, as a young nigga, yeah, black folks only do this, and this, and like we limited in the shit. I was like, hee hee ha ha. Yeah, that's some shit that nigga would do if a nigga had a plane. Bro, yeah, Snoop was the pilot. Bro, it's like, that shit was terrible. It was not, it was not a good one. It was not, I mean, we know, we all saw it, we all watched it. It got promoted and pushed to us. We fell for the okie doke. But think about Soul Plane, big, major, motion picture, whatever, thing. Now, how did he get there though? Because usually you see motherfuckers just kind of getting there. And again, if he was on Comic View or some shit like that, maybe that'll boost you up. You get a little name. Somebody's like, hey, I seen you on something funny. But just to me, I don't. What did you see from the acting and soul playing this makes like just Kevin Hart's the next big star? Yes. Not, nothing. There was nothing to me, and most of it acting like there's nothing to me. When like, oh, he's an amazing actor. He's funny, right? In the comedic actor sense, like I get that. But not like, oh, ha ha ha. It's Kevin Hart. I probably sniggled. I think what was the one when he told a joke about his uncle? There was something other. I was like, I thought that was funny. You nigga help me, whatever. That shit that became the meme. It's not a whole lot. Yeah, exactly. Funny that Snoop was in both though. The wash. But yeah, Broderick's a terrible. I'm trying to tell you, don't listen to Broderick. He's a hater. But here's the deal. He ran for an hour. Right. So we're gonna talk about it. We'll have a discussion. There was a couple other things I do gotta mention. Hold on. We gotta mention before we do get into it. Based on love. What is Faison Love's best role in anything to you? This is not a hater question. It's like, oh, this nigga ain't never been no role. What is his best role? Or if you've seen a stand-up, could you recommend a Faison Love stand-up? What is the best role that you've ever seen in Faison Love? Laugh. Kids started crying. We were like, why is this nigga always taking his shirt off? Right? It's true. Why is that nigga always taking his shirt off? Right? I would agree, Big Worm. That's really, it was some movie, wasn't he? What was the movie he's talking about? The chicken hole? Was that Three Strikes? Was it Three Strikes that he was in? Faison did the voice of Robert Harrison, Apex Kid. They remake that shit. But even then, that little nigga from Three Strikes was kind of funny. I forgot that nigga name. Oh, and what? I forgot he was the manager. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, very, very limited roles. Basically the same nigga. He's the manager in Elvis when Big Worm ran out of, he got out of jail, so he can motherfucking me start working at the mall. Brian Hooks. That's crazy that you remember that. Yeah. But yeah, he basically been, yeah, these motherfuckers are good. They're better than I thought. They do cafe style fucking queso flavored chips. I never thought I would like this. It's good to the motherfucker. Wow. He did Robert Harris. Okay. Well then, that might be his best role. What you know about Fat Beach then, man? Y'all boys don't know about Fat Beach. Um, so that's it there. That's it right there. Um, that's what I'm saying. Is Faison is just known for hating. Like everything I see Faison, every time I see that nigga, he it's because he died before it was recorded. Okay. everything I see FaceTime is just him hating on somebody else. Like, before hating on, like, he used to hate on Chappelle. About Chappelle wasn't funny. He was white funny. Niggas wasn't fucking with Chappelle. Like, niggas been fucking with Chappelle long as I know it. Like, he's just hating me. I'm trying to think who else got, who else caught a slug or two that we ain't addressed. This one, I got to trim my shit. Like, this is a thick mustache for me. It's all hair, and my nose is all. This shit bothering the fuck out of me. Feel like a puppy's under my nose or some shit. Um, he did. He did. I was a little surprised at the Martin reference. I think he said a couple of things about Martin. He thought about the nigga in the Big Mama's house. And they try to give me Big Mama's house too. Yeah, he did. He did talk about that. But I think he talked about it more in a way like he was disappointed in Martin by doing it more. He said something else about him, but he ain't going on Martin like he went on some of the. Yeah, he's like, yeah, you got something good for whenever you get back, whenever you're doing whatever. What, Jabari? Happy birthday. Happy birthday to Jabari. Why Martin got to be gay and a loose cannon, man? Yeah, that's what I say. He just seemed like he's more disappointed because, like, and we're talking about legends, bro. Martin's a legend, right? Martin is a legend. They legendary. Oh. While we in here, tomorrow we playing a game in the den, right? Tomorrow we playing a game in the den, right? So deadline will be active, and you will have an opponent, right? So all y'all be acting like y'all scared to get online. Ain't gonna be none of that. Tomorrow, we're having a game of trivia, right? We're going to have a game of trivia, and everyone should know it. All I can tell you is brush up on your black movies and TV shows as best you can. Excuse me. Tomorrow we're gonna have some fun. But definitely shout out to Jabari. Happy birthday. Bro, that nigga was just going in. Like Shannon could have did a little bit better. As towards the end of the interview, it got a little bit better, but I was still like Shannon, I could tell Shannon didn't want to hurt the ties that he felt like he had with people because I'm sure he knows Hollywood is fickle. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure he knows say the wrong thing, do the wrong thing. You know, you ain't gonna get no more, get any more decent guests on your show. But again, they're gonna come running back, just like Katt said. They're gonna come back to have the opportunity to try to redeem themselves. Rickey not. Rickey definitely not. Rickey got on the show looking like he about ready to retire. I think Rickey might not make it through 2024. Say not this Martin. Martin's a goat. But yeah, Martin couldn't be the same. You couldn't do Martin and none of that shit now. Like I said, the character Martin too old for all them characters to be hopping around. Dragonfly Jones, ain't no way. But y'all ain't gonna be able to Bill and beat everybody. You already beat Broderick. But like I said, it's a very interesting thing. Katt coming with the heat, you know, kind of telling his story. And it makes you have an appreciation or at least an interest, right? You go back and you look at these guys and you say, damn, well, how did they get on? Damn. Silence. Silence. No, Mr. Otis. Martin is Mr. Otis now. Martin old, man. But yeah, when he's going on Steve Harvey hairline, how niggas thought he had the livest hairline in the game. And this Steve Harvey, they went and pulled up an old clip talking about just nigga Steve Harvey talking about he's paying this nigga $1,500 a haircut because he went back and got the barber who used to do his hair. Oh, nigga, you talking about $1,500 a haircut, and you getting your haircut multiple times a week. That's a piece. You just playing with your piece to stay alive, man. Like, oh yeah. Oh yeah, oh man, look. It was always Pam over Gina for me. I can say whatever y'all want to. It was always Pam over. It's still Pam over Gina. Wow. I thought, well, I don't know. I thought Pam was. I don't think Pam was definitely funny to Gina. But anyway, you look at Katt Williams, you look at some of these other guys, and the crazy thing about it is because they always talk about cats on drugs, right? That was the thing that Kevin Hart threw out there. Cat on drugs, cat on this, get out to this. You blew your chance. Like, I don't think people understand. Some people don't want the same things. Right? Like some people don't want the same things. Some people just want to be stars. Some people just want everyone to scream their name when they enter a room. They just want to be worshipped. They want to be idolized. They want to be treated like gods and goddesses. Some people want to be adored. They want to be adorned. They want to be exalted and elevated. Some people just want to communicate. Some people just want to relay a message. And there may be benefits to relaying this message, right? Because the more people you help, the more you grow, right? Whatever you want to call it. You can entertain a lot of people, and you get a lot of fake love. And again, like I said, you just put on praise pillows until you start doing the things that those people don't like. So you're not appeasing them anymore, right? Or you can be the person that informed somebody, that showed someone a different way of thinking, provided someone information and allowed them to take that information and do what they wanted to with it instead of withholding the information and forcing them to believe something. Katt is the messenger, right? Katt is the messenger, and his message has resonated with plenty of people, and that's why he's in the position he's in. These other guys, maybe not so much. I'm not knocking Steve's work ethic, but what he said about Steve was true. Steve is a big country sounding motherfucker who's gonna say he's good for some little country ass quips and a yuck yuck here and a yuck yuck there. Don't get me wrong, right? You know what I'm saying? Don't get it wrong. And he does a bunch of shows, does a bunch of work, gives a lot of bad advice, writes terrible books. It is what it is. He's getting his money, right? I kind of went in a while back on Monique. Conversation Monique and Steve had. Right? Oh, wow. He said, let's talk about that. Kevin's exorcist said that he was on drugs. Now, who's the drug addict? I mean, you putting those crazy out. He probably on no telling. They probably got designer drugs. Or, I mean, I won't say that Kevin's doing too much. No. Exploit the shit while you got the chance. Capitalize while you have the chance. Just not my brand, not my way of doing it, not my interest, right? Again, I don't find it funny. I don't find it humorous. But you can tell he's more of a guy that didn't get that attention. And again, humor was the way of getting that attention. Now he uses that to get more and more attention, right? Again, I'm not knocking anybody. I'm not saying anybody shouldn't capitalize and get the resources to get all those things. But there was another comment that was said. Let me send this to myself real quick. I don't think I have it. Because he said something about all of them having the same wives, right? When he mentioned all of them having the same wives, I was like, oh, okay, we're talking about Luda. You call Luda's wife ugly, basically. Um, they mentioned something about them having the same ugly looking little wife. Um, this nigga Katt Williams did not miss last night, right? Did not miss. Like you would have swore he was looking for he was on a special or something like it. He was ready. Now, the one thing, oh yeah, this right here. The one thing I will say, and this ain't the wife thing, but I had to share this. The one thing I will say I will question was the toothless homeless story. But I'm not going to judge him on that. I'm not going to be, critical of him on that. Again, because if you think about it, he says, he's a person who's investing in himself so that he doesn't have to do certain things. And the person who invests in himself, you listen to the Dame Dash of the world, you listen to any entrepreneur. You're investing in yourself, you're going to take some risks. Sometimes you're going to go broke before you ever profit. You may be broke for a long time before you profit. So if all of his decisions and the way his mentality has led him to this, I'm not knocking, I'm not mad at him, I'm not faulting at all. Michael Blackson, smart, right? Smart play off of this. Capitalize. Because no way in hell, no way in God's green earth, no way in this universe, right, is fucking Michael Blackson a top 10 black comedian alive. Gary Owen will be on the top 10 black comedian list before Michael Blackson. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. Right? All right. Let me hurry up and do this mail over the line. The chips are fucking really good. They're really good. I shouldn't have started eating. It was a big mistake. I disagree with this list in its current order. None of my business. But let me show you what he said about the wives, right? And again, there's a very interesting point that was made. Extremely interesting point that was made. Do these women not all look similar? I'm not saying they all, I'm not saying they're twins, not that they're like septuplets or some shit. Let's put a little piece of chip out. But don't these women all look similar in their own right? This is an LA thing. We'll be honest. That face out up there at the top. Not mad at him. Not mad at you. Some of them made some worse decisions. That's it over at the top. Like that. Glasses off. Oh, shit. Right. It is what it is. It is what it is. I mean, it's their own preference, but it's just weird, like that. This guy, I ain't gonna get the red pill stuff, right? I ain't gonna get to the red pill stuff, but right, these guys are all very successful in their own right. They're all dating the same type of alien. I'll be honest, I agree. Like two of these probably do. Probably do. Yeah. That chick definitely cheat. I don't even know who that chick is. She definitely cheating on Kevin Hart. Is he short? Like, come on. Look, the woman, she'll be with you for your finances and all that, but he too short. You gotta need to feel a real man. That's what I'm saying. Like and then look at you know, have we talked about we've talked about the leaning line, right? But the one I saw from Rickey Smiley responding, he barely said anything. Oh yeah, Steve's wife is yeah. Must Steve's wife fucking with like the pool boy or some shit? Don't let me start no rumors, man. You know, it's not me. It's the chips talking. But let's get into it. I guarantee you, Steve all ass, for look up and that nigga see nothing but teeth in her face, teeth and mustache. You know what I'm saying? Ricky put the shades on every time. That's what I said. I gotta go back and watch that one now because that was the first close say I watched. But my thing about it is, my thing about it is, the relationship line, right? Ooh, and I just noticed something. I really just noticed something. So, have y'all ever seen this thing? We've talked about it. Probably talked about it some years ago. Wow, I just noticed something. I'm gonna show y'all something. I noticed it some years ago, right? Well, not I've seen it. It's been going around. It's like when a man and a woman take a picture together, right? I won't use submissive as the word, but probably be the word. When a man and woman take a picture together, the one who is more upright, I guess, I won't say the more stable, but more so runs the relationship. We saw it with the Will and Jada thing some time back. Usually it's the woman leaning into the man, most times, right? And sometimes it's slight, sometimes it's subtle. The more pronounced it is, so the more pronounced it is, the more significant it can be, right? Take a look at this. Look at all of these pictures. Let's look it over together, right? We'll start at the top. We'll just do it like this. Who's doing the leaning in all of these pictures? Start here, up at the top. Middle picture, Faison. Even Kevin Hart's picture right here. I'll say the Martin one there. Let's be about straight up and down. I mean, there's a subtle, more pronounced lean of Michael Blackson into whoever this or the individual is. But most of these pictures, the women are all going. I would say in almost all these pictures, the women are upright, right? Not leaning into their man. They don't love these men, right? They love the money that these men have, right? That's what's happening. That's what happened. Yeah, Jada definitely was that. That's what I'm saying. Like, Steve definitely doing it. You know, choose. Good body rocking, knocking boots all night long. But anyway, yeah, man. Yeah, man. So I'm just trying to say it's just there's something going on with it. I'm not joining the slanders, but just Katt made a lot of points, a lot of strong points, a lot of valid points. And now, when points like that are made, you look at people differently. Same way, well, if I come out and say stuff about Will or whomever else, it may be you look at certain stuff, you're like, it makes sense, right? Katt came out, and I didn't feel like there was malice in his voice in the sense of I know people put the hit him up memes and stuff like that. I agree with him. He was just telling the truth. That's all he did was tell the truth. And I won't think there's anything for him to exonerate himself of, but he just told the truth. It is what it is, right? It's got to heal off. But yeah, man, it's just where we are, bro. And it's wild. But again, I felt like I just wish that you think that women trust you after you got caught fucking while she was pregnant. Oh. Didn't he get with the didn't he like leave or does he cheat on the second one? I don't know, bro. I've been hearing a little shit and I don't be caring. Yeah, when he said he's like, yeah, I just want to be successful in Hollywood and protect my virgin asshole. That shit was the funniest shit, bro. Like, Katt was going off yesterday. Katt was he was on one. That's the one he cheated on? Okay. She ain't that ain't nothing but fucking breaking bread for the money. Like, she don't like this nigga. She's disgusted by this nigga. Look how she's leaning from this nigga. This picture almost look like it's tilted. Like, that bitch does not want to be touched by that nigga. That nigga, she don't want shit to do with this nigga. Just don't want to get broke off. Yeah. Nigga have to break you. Yeah, that's all that is. She is disgusted by him. She there for the photo op. Why these bitches can't be like Savannah James, bro? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She don't want to be touched by him at all. Like, she got the most pronounced lean away. Like, everybody else is like at least up straight and niggas leaning in. He leaning in and she leaning away. Lean back. Lean back. But yeah, that's crazy, bro. You know, old horn dog ass nigga. Kevin Hart want to try to tell somebody to be a moral, upstanding, sitting piece of shit. Talking. Let's see. I think I ain't gonna show that whole long ass clip. I showed y'all that. We showed y'all that they be thieving. How long is this one? That's a little 10-minute thing of Rickey Smiley talking about retelling the story of how he got the role. I didn't say, I really did the role. And like, nigga, then that cat came and told the truth and just, it was a rap. Just say that. Just say that then. Which one was this? Stole the show Friday after later, while that yeah. Yeah, this was the original. This is what Rickey said originally. Right. I'm gonna play that for y'all real quick.
Call me Bombinicious, though. Everybody around here call me Bombinicious, it's fine. You call me that. Don't even worry about it. Everybody call me Bombinicious. Everybody call you Bombinicious.
You stole the show in Friday after next. Yeah. How was that experience?
Why we go through this, man?
I
We're
don't-
brothers. I believe we related, but go ahead.
You were originally supposed to play Katt Williams' character.
Yes. And Katt Williams was supposed to play my character. And somebody said, no, we want you to play Mike.
The thieving ass Santa Claus.
Right, and then, because Katt Williams was gonna be the Santa Claus.
Right.
And then, and they switched it over.
Right.
Because when I auditioned for Mighty Mike.
Right.
You know, so when I went in there to audition, I'm at the toilet. When Katt Williams went to use the bathroom, that's the line I had to use to audition. So they switched it up. So I was like, yeah, I can do this Santa Claus role Friday, but I didn't know that because I did my role like in 4 days.
Right.
They shot all my stuff in 4 days. I went back to Birmingham, came back out because they changed the ending. Did you know that?
Right. No, I didn't.
No, you know the ending where they got the fighting or whatever. The ending was me Santa Claus giving out presents to his kids.
Right.
So the test audience didn't like the way it ended, so they changed the ending.
Right.
So I had to come back. The scariest thing was laying down in front of that limousine.
Right.
And you better hope and pray that he got it on drive and not reverse.
Right.
Because that was real.
Okay.
But I had to really lay there while that limousine peeled off.
Right.
So they allowed me to get up about 3 or 4 times to go and look at it to make sure. I said, go up. I put it in reverse. I said, put it in drive. Put it in reverse. So I got comfortable. I said, okay, let's go. I said, hey, we're going to do this one time. One time. So they actually did it twice. And that was scary. And the part where the Santa Claus got with the clothesline.
Right.
When we were laying on the ground, we was in a real backyard somewhere south of LA.
Right.
Shannon, why was maggots in the dirt? It was somebody's backyard for real. The dirt was infested with maggots. Like real talk. I had to lay down there, right? So that was a stunt man that did the clothesline to fall.
Right.
But I had to pick up where he was already down.
Right.
And I'm laying down and I'm looking and I see maggots in the dirt.
You stole the show in Friday after next.
Yeah.
How?
This is what I'll be saying about Shannon. Shannon with this, you stole the show in Friday afternoon. What? He stole some shit in Friday afternoon, but he didn't steal no fucking show. And this nigga's like, yeah, nigga, stole the show. Anyway, so you sit there and you listen to that. You listen to what he said then versus what Katt said. You know, you look at their tonality, you look at their body language, the way they move, the way they responded. Rickey looked like a motherfucker who was just happy to be here. Somebody gonna have me on their show. I used to have everybody on my show. I'm glad to be on somebody else's show. It just doesn't even make sense. And like Katt said, this nigga told that he was auditioning for the role where the nigga was getting raped originally. Like, it's more believable to me that in the original that Money Mike was going to get raped versus the Santa Claus was giving out presents to the kids, right? This nigga looked like a nigga I used to go to school with. Like, I'm not gonna say look like, but he's moving like a nigga I used to go to school with that was just like a pathological liar. He just moves like a pathological liar. And it's uncanny almost what I'm seeing. But it's hard for me. I've never been a Rickey Smiley person. I don't want to let my personal entertainment bias conflict with what I've seen here, right? Yeah. And here's the thing, 'cause he said something else. Because I was listening to the shit earlier, and he was saying something about Money Mike wasn't even supposed to be a pimp. It was supposed to be like a homeless guy who hung around. Like, that sounds like you talking about I need money off of fucking how high. Now that I think about it, like that thought just came to my head. Like, so Money Mike was supposed to be, he was just a homeless guy who hung around the shopping center. That sounds like fucking, it sounds like I need money. This nigga who hung around the college campus. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, what the hell? I think he bit by something. Ow, something bit me. What the fuck is that? But yeah, so like it's a situation where it's hard to believe Lil Daryl. Yeah. And I never found the Lil Daryl shit funny. Like, he just sat there and looked stupid. Like, I don't want to just start taking straight looks, you know, I'll be honest. Like, we might get a call to it. Just hear me out. Right? Cedric, Steve, I forget his name and shit. Cedric and Steve, guys like that, are guys that's almost the same guys we kind of talk about nowadays who are internet comedians, right? You don't know what their real origin story is. You know, they just came from the internet, they can do shit for a little bit. Rickey Smiley's that guy too. Rickey Smiley, they're really a very humorous guy to me. Goofy, kind of do the little sketch character again. But we as niggas gotta stop supporting some like anything. Like, because the comedy gets real watered down. Because it makes me start thinking about the current internet comedians, right? It's a lot of them that I don't find funny. And some of them that you may find funny, right? And there's some of them that I don't find funny, and there's skits that I've seen them do a little bit of stand-up, and I find some of their jokes funny. So, you know, I can be wrong. I can always accept being wrong, right? I don't mind being wrong, as long as I'm being educated on something different. But like, the guy who's always looking out the window like the old man. He's not funny, right? Little Puerto Rican motherfucker who moans the guy. I don't even know. DC Young Fly's not. He's silly, right? The little road shit he used to be good at. DC's not a comedian, right? He can be a host. He's a good MC, but he's not a comedian. Similar to Steve. But the nigga who, what's going on here? Let's make my stomach bubble. That nigga, like, yeah, the nigga who played the old man, like, there's nothing about any of his skits that I've seen that would make me want to see him in person, right? But has a huge following. Because again, it doesn't take much. Like, I guess it's a face, but I don't know if it's old people find the shit funny or, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's weird. Like, I cannot get funny. That dude is just not funny to me. Yeah, the Lord have mercy, nigga. Yeah, because it's like the first time, depending on which of his videos you see, all right, kind of, hey. But when it's literally the same for each, what's going on here? It's like, he's not adding anything to it. Like, I guess that's the content creator part of it versus like, add some kind of funny commentary to it. An actual commentary, maybe, you know, actually, like the motherfuckers who do voiceovers shit, find the motherfuckers hilarious because you're adding an element to the shit that it might already be a funny video, but then you're giving personality to the video. But when you just kind of like inserting yourself in and just be one of them people, those people are weird to me. And then the people who, like I say, just, and I'm not saying use the content and, you know, however you got to do it, but just, it to me, doesn't add value to it. Like, I can watch the same thing and think to myself, like, oh, this is fucking terrible. Without the, what's going on here? What's in my stomach bubble? Like, not a good one of that. I've heard a lot of people say that about the DC thing. Rickey Smiley has a Christian community. Man, and that's kind of a, I'm not gonna say it's a cop-out, right? I'm not gonna say it's a cop-out, but you can get away with, there's comedy you can get away with in the quote-unquote Christian community that you can't get away with in normal community. So you do have a lot of black Christians, right? It's radio safe, right? Because a lot of older black Christians still listening to the radio or whatever. So you do have that safe, protected element, right? You gotta pardon me. Definitely taking these socks off. I don't know whatever my feet are. But what's the motherfucking deal? Yeah. Yeah, and that's the beautiful thing about it. Like, that's why Love talking about independence so much, right? Love talking about being able to be independent of things. That's why you got to move a certain way. And it can take longer, you can work harder, it may be requiring more effort, but when you don't have to succumb to other people's will because they're like, hey, look, I'm throwing a bunch of money in your face. There was something that came out, it was another clip. I don't think I posted it in the den, but it was you know, when what's his name says all this stuff. I was thinking Kevin Hart was on the Kelly Clarkson show or something like that. And she starts talking about how, you know, she's gotten some strange requests for millions and millions of dollars, you know, from certain people. He shushes her almost on her own show, right? Almost like, shh, like don't mention it. Tries to play it off like it's joking because with a comedian, even when they do something serious, it's a joke. When you look at a motherfucker like, I expect funny to come from this person, even when they do something that might not be so funny and they just kind of laugh about it, like, oh, they're just joking. But so I believe I'm prone to believe more so of what Katt is saying, right? I believe more so of what Katt is saying because of the way he's responding, his energy, the just overall statements that he has. The proof and the facts are out there. Like, again, the internet done dug up all the receipts. That's all niggas had time to do today, right? You know what I'm saying? He said Kevin Hart debunked it. What did he, oh, she was on his show? Okay. I'm saying, I don't know who saw, you know, he got a show, who got a show, everybody got a show. That show you how much I be paying attention to these motherfuckers. You say Jason Whitlock is Umar Johnson. Yeah, Jason then just went off the rail. I tried to rock with Whitlock for a little bit. Yeah, 2024 is the exposure year. Like, that's why I say the big shakeup is coming. And motherfuckers better be ready. The big shakeup is coming, right? Because all of these people, you got to think about it. If all of these powerful people are fearful of the exposures and all this, and this ain't like, oh no, Me Too shit. It's just like, this is how weird the game is that y'all worship. This is what's really going on. So the same people y'all idolize and praise are the same people that you work for that treat you like shit. They just got a lot more money, right? And most people aren't going to put two and two together. Most motherfuckers are only going to see it at a surface level thing. So most people are not going to respond differently in their lives. They're not going to say, you know what, hey, Katt is making sense. I need to move in a way where I make my own money so I don't have to rely on this, or I make my own foods or whatever, so I don't have to rely on things. Like, talking about a lot here, you know, self-reliance at this point is going to be a huge thing. I think this is going to be the self-reliance and exposure year, right? So, you said, you said he went on X and said his P. Okay, I'm gonna have to check it. I seen something where he was talking about watching his new movie. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. So, yeah, you know what? That's why they knew. You're right. The bunkers. The bunkers. That's why they like, fuck it. We just go hide in the bunkers for a couple of weeks and everybody gonna forget about the shit. Right? But that's what I'm saying. Like, it's gonna be a wild year. This is the fourth? This is the this is the fourth, man. Real quick, and I know we going off track because like I said, we only got a few, so we might just have to hit the Discord and finish chopping it up about it. But the guy, the Katt thing is still a lot more to discuss. But the guy who flew over the thing and got the judge, right? I'm not encouraging you niggas to go throw your life. Like, that nigga went, I don't know how much time he was about to get. You know, he was expecting papers and all that. Like, I don't know how much time he was about to get, but he got it all now. He got everybody. I bet everybody else who was supposed to be in court after that was probably thankful. There ain't no way she stayed on the stand after that, bro. But, man, That motherfucker went and I wish there was a higher angle to where you could see the actual beating if the beating was taking place. And because it's like, it looks like, I'm trying to figure out if he was still like beating her up and then you still had 2 or 3 dudes trying to fight him out. Because he was, and then like the lawyer, who was getting hit? Because it seemed like at one point, you know what I'm saying? Like, at one point, it just seemed like, I don't know what was going on. Motherfuckers started jumping in, swinging on people who wasn't even doing whatever. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be honest. He cleared that shit, bro. Like the passion in his heart. For what I'm not gonna say we all felt like that. You know, I mean, I hope not. But I'm pretty sure he's gonna be the most popular nigga in the jail. After the cops get finished whipping the shit out that nigga, because they gonna beat his ass. They're gonna beat his ass. Like he jumped on jail, they're gonna make sure he's unrecognizable. But once, if he ever does get back into the general population of people, they'll be like, oh, that's that nigga that whooped that judge. That nigga gonna be a fucking I don't say a legend, but shit. But again, it was just I get it. Yeah. I get it. Like I get the anger, you know, especially if you're thinking one thing and, you know, those things tend to go, depending on, you know, legal proceedings have different ways of having their outcomes and whatever. We're not going to get into all that. But if, you know, especially if you thought that you were going to get a decent little deal out of that shit, bro, man, bro, big motherfucker, they cleared that whole. And the video, like, 'cause I saw it at first without the audio. And that motherfucker gave a whole real loud, man, fuck you, bitch. And cleared it. And she tried to duck off. And it's like he adjusted me. Like, bro, that shit like was like blocking a fucking field goal, right? Like jumping the fucking line, and then you just adjust midair, the ball's going to, and he just grabbed that bitch and just, bro, it was triple tail. I feel like I got a fucking puppy on it and all these hair. I need to shave. Like this shit is fucking pissing me off. This is a thick mustache for me. Like, I don't think I could have like a real live goatee. Or maybe I just need to comb it. I don't know. Bro, it seemed just like that. It was definitely a Jerry Springer executed style fight. That was, man, the flying cross body block, whatever the fuck, like, bro, that shit was crazy. That's the second wildest thing of the day. Katt going in, that's the first. And the Katt thing is going to have much more fallout than this. The Katt thing is going to have more ramifications, right? Because there's going to be people who, I don't know. There's going to be people who might have got roles that might not now, right? But it's not like it's going to be Steve. Like, what has Steve ever done really besides stolen hanging with Mr. Cooper, now that we know that, and be a host? Like, I think he was smart for doing the host, right? Because he knows he's not funny. He knows he can't. He was able to pilfer the Kings of Comedy title and run off with it, right? And he finessed us all. We got scammed, dog. Like, we got scammed by these comedians. So not only that, we got scammed, right? We got scammed. And that's the thing. Like, what can you say? What can you say? Like, if it was false shit, if it was off the wall shit, again, you would be hearing, motherfucker, we gonna be sending suing letters, we gonna have, see, they ain't gonna play with Katt. I guarantee you that Katt is saying these things so confidently, so willingly, because there are also receipts behind it. There's also proof behind it, right? There's also, you know, he can back these things up. And so that's why I believe that their approach is going to be cautious as to how they respond to him, right? Because Otherwise, then he may just say something. Yeah, he did. Look, Katt was about 17 pounds lighter after that damn after that whole interview. Why does Jada look like Fat Joe Jr.? What's going on with that? Right? You said, oh yeah. You know what happened with Rickey? Rickey posted some shit. He posted something. He posted, I guess, on Twitter or whatever. You know, I guess their little regular morning show shit. And the comments under it were so much people roasting him and going in on him for the fucking shit. Like he deleted the shit. Like just deleted shit. Faison gonna respond like Faison always do, and that's just being a hater. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. There's probably some expensive liquor. Oh wow! Oh wow! Trick Daddy. what the what the fuck is Trick Daddy responding for? Trick Daddy about to sit down somewhere. Hmm. Oh wow, he did. All right, well that's bad. This is what we're gonna do. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I've been fading out. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna line up. We're gonna slide in the. We gonna slide in the Discord. We're slide in the voice chat. Like I said, we got a whole thread in the Discord of all the proof of the evidence and some longer shit in there. And we're gonna break it down. We're gonna look at the story. We're gonna talk about it, and then we're gonna get some of the updated responses, the updated replies. Has anybody heard from Katt Williams today? Has he had to say anything today? Like, I'm just concerned, right? I'm just concerned that and when I say they, you know exactly who they are, right? Because Katt is out there fucking up their money, right? And when he's out there fucking up their money, you know, they eventually gonna regulate the situation. Look, if they oh yeah. Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. Oh, yeah, he didn't Hiroshima and Nagasaki, right? Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, he would go out a martyr. It's very interesting. Like I was gonna say, Katt has always been a straight up dude, stand up guy. Like, because even after all of these incidents, anytime something has happened, you know what I'm saying, Katt ain't never ran from it. When somebody brought it to him, he's never run from it. He talked about talking about that Wanda chick, and the first thing Shannon did almost was Wanda Sykes. Like, no, but like you said, old guy who set him up, right? Tried to set him up for the thing. Katt is a thinking man, and he was smart because, again, been a nigga like me, I'd have been talking all kind of shit about Atlanta being a questionable city. But he's smart. He knows his fan base. He knows where he's at. He's been on the show Atlanta, and you know what I'm saying. But yeah, that's what I said. That's what I was saying. That was one of the biggest disappointments for me was that Shannon was not. He was not the host. Shannon was not ready for Katt the same way Cam was not ready for Charleston White. Yeah, 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 and that's the thing, right? And so that's just where it is. Yeah, there's gonna be who follows that up? Who follows Katt Williams on the next episode of Club Shay Shay? That is the question, right? Yeah, just like him. Like that's what I say. Like these niggas, I don't want to say they value the brand. Like you should value your own brand, like the Club Shay Shay brand. But in reality, they value the other brands. Like you bringing niggas on like Katt and Charleston who are independent in their own ways, right? Whether you agree or disagree with what they got going on, they know that their controversial takes or that the way they choose to move is going to be looked at a certain way. So, you know, they're risking their own to do so, to move the way they move. These are guys who are bringing them on these shows who are sponsored by other people who are still involved in a lot of other corporate style entertainment venues or whatever you want to call it, entertainment contracts, whatever, right? You bring some guys on that say the wrong thing, especially say the wrong thing about something that you involved in, you know, it becomes a conflict of interest. It could become whatever you want to call it, and they lose money. Or maybe a deal they had on the table or something could have been coming to fruition that because of the characters they bring on, the things that's going on, that they may lose out on that. So guys like Cam and guys like Shannon, while wanting to, you know, capture some of the hot commodities, these guys who are, and again, Katt, I won't even say Katt was a hot commodity. It's just what he had to say with the size of that platform and the people who watched it. It was it was fucking match meets flame. And, you know, there it is, right? Yeah, Faison always been a hater. Like that's always what I've always seen. Oh yeah, he already know. Oh yeah, he milking the fuck out there. Like he know, like, because at first he was like, shit, he was having trouble doing, you know. But he might have brought some new motherfuckers. He probably brought some new people in who didn't fuck with it. So I guarantee right now what's happening, and I need to go and look. I don't know what the numbers for that Rickey Smiley shit were. I know they weren't. I wouldn't know if it was a million. I wouldn't say it was. But whatever it was, that shit that ran up, the Rickey Smiley shit that ran up, and he ain't tripping about putting the Rickey Smiley shit so because Rickey Smiley ain't bringing no numbers. Katt Williams gonna always bring you better numbers than Rickey Smiley. Like, they don't give a fuck if he piss off Rickey Smiley. Now, Steve is a different story. Said possibly a different story, but Said ain't giving you Rickey. I mean, they're not giving you Katt Williams numbers, right? So, yeah, Steve ain't gonna say shit. You know what I'm saying? Steve ain't gonna say shit. Yeah, and that's what I say. If you oh shit. Yeah. But yeah, Steve ain't gonna say shit because Steve ain't gonna want to fuck his money up. He might try to give a Kevin Hart style reply. I don't know what Kevin's most recent shit was, but I know he was talking about putting out some shit. That shit at 10 M's already? Damn. I saw that shit was at like, I think it was like 7, 5 to 7. I figured it was gonna start slowing down. But it's the biggest shit going. But also what this does, and I wish people would pay the fuck. I just wish more folks would pay attention. Especially these athletes who already got money, but they're so stupid, right? I'm not even just saying that. Let me not say athletes. The people who already have money, right? Imagine knowing you putting up Joe Rogan numbers, right? You done got you 10 M's. You got your 10 again. But the reason why is because some risque shit came on. You had a real fucking conversation that meant something to somebody. Imagine just doing that. Imagine stop fucking shucking and jiving and trying to play it fucking safe because you buddy. And I get it. You built these relationships with these people. Your friends. They're only friends with you because you got fucking money. You wouldn't be friends with these motherfuckers if you weren't rich. And I get it. It's a different class. You're in a different zone. They got different secrets on your asses too. I get it. But imagine just being honest. Imagine saying fuck the money I might lose. Imagine saying fuck the sponsorships or whatever. I got money. I'm comfortable. enough for the rest of my life. I want some other nice things. But imagine me taking a risk on myself. And then I start seeing numbers like this every time I drop a fucking episode. Right? I don't need so-and-so or so-and-so to sponsor me because they're going to be begging to have a chance at my 10 million views. Right? Niggas don't think like that. Same shit I talk about with these different leagues and shit. I seen them. I've talked about black leagues and athletes and all this money. And my thing is because it's frustrating when we crying racism and all the stuff we crying about now when it's more than enough niggas in position to like not have to deal with this shit. Shout out to Jay Mill. He was just talking about niggas being in better positions the other day. But I'm going on a side rant just to say that that's why I respect Katt, right? Because again, he funds his own shit, puts his own specials out there. He bet on himself, right? Same reason why I liked Mayweather. Bet on himself, regardless of how you feel about it. I respect the motherfucker who takes a bet on themselves because they know that they are truly gifted in their craft and they're not half-assed and they're not cheating the system. They're not stealing it from off of somebody else's shit. And they know because it's in them, not on them, that they got it and they bet on themselves. I have it's hard for me to respect anything more than that. A person who knows they got to take a risk, they bet on themselves, win. There's a lot of people who bet on themselves and lose, though, right? Again, it's a whole other conversation. But you know what Denzel told Steve? No, you know. Shout out to Julius Harris. Thank you for subscribing to the Den. Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, if you get into a sense, let me put the Discord link in there. My bad, y'all. We're gonna slide into the Discord. Y'all know how we rock. And after every stream, we slide into the voice chat. I'm already in that bitch. Can't like I say, meet me there if you can't beat me there. You can't beat me there. So be in that bitch first. But we'll continue the conversation. A little bit. We'll continue the conversation. You know, we can all join in. And I'm gonna put some extra clips, some other content that I found relating to what's been going on. And let me do this real quick because I found this to be. Might not be on here. Might be. I'm sorry. Yeah, I think it is. Oh well. So we'll just put that back up there. Put this in the link in here again. Shout out to everybody for joining tonight. I thank y'all. I do appreciate it. And Heidi, I don't even know. Heidi a German. She loves sausage, Wiener Schnitzel and shit. And drinking Ziegenbach. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see how that goes. We'll talk about that. I'm gonna slide in your DMs. But again, yeah, it's a wild situation. But so again, everybody's welcome in the Discord. You know, we definitely are very friendly people, right? Man, we got tomorrow. Tomorrow. I told you we're gonna play a game tomorrow. So make sure you're here for the Den Live. We're gonna play a fun game. We might play a little bit more tonight in the Discord. Heidi definitely can't play because she's not gonna know any of the answers. So with that being said, show the producer, y'all be cool like y'all be cool. Links in the thing. Again, I'm already in that bitch. Meet me there. Meet me there because you can't beat me there. And again, I thank y'all for being here. Again, you could have been anywhere in the world this evening. The fact that you came and rocked with the friends in the Den folk, the most wonderful people on the planet. Thank you. It has been my honor, my privilege, but most of all, it has been my pleasure. I will see you tomorrow at 9 p.m. I thank you for tuning into the Den Show. Let's talk live. We're all friends at the Den. Let your intrusive thoughts win in the Den. Right? That's the one. Oh man, who you talking about? RP Brad 335 was in the sauce earlier. He was in here too, if I'm not mistaken. We're talking about Denzel stuff. So anyway, I'm going. Adios. Hasta mañana. Say something. Just stop.